everyone, and welcome to the Global Video Hop. This is Jackie Williams in New Zealand, and for this video hop we are focusing on upcoming SaleABration gifts. So these will be available during January and February of 2022 and are free with qualifying purchase. And I'm going to be showcasing today the Friendly Hello gift. And this is a larger gift, so it's a level 2. It features quite a large stamp set with 13 images with the birds and the greenery and the flowers and the words. It also comes with an exclusive pack of designer series paper. You can see the beautiful colors in here, and that it also coordinates with the images in the stamp set. Speaking of which, one of the things that's great about this particular bundle is these stamps. So this flower stamp and this little image here actually fits within the print of one of these papers. So you can use it as is, or you can stamp and add any colors you want to create the color palette that works with what you want to make. In addition, for my project today, I'm also going to add in the subtle shimmer paper that's in the mini catalog. It comes with a pool party piece, this piece, and also a pink piece of glitter paper, and this particular piece of glitter paper works in quite well with these colors. So to start, we will have our basic white card base. So this is thick basic white, and I've cut that at 8 inches by 7 inches. So when that's folded in half, you have a card front of 7 inches by 4 inches. And then I have cut a piece of the designer series paper that is 3 7/8 by 6 7/8. So just very slightly smaller than the card front. And I'm actually going to take a little piece of sandpaper and just sand those edges. That just gives me a nice white edge to that, which coordinates quite nicely with the white flowers. And then we'll just adhere that to the card front. Then next I have a piece of the polka dotted printed paper from this pack, as well as that piece of pool party glitter paper. I think in the video it's looking quite white, but it does have a bit of a blue tint to it. And what I've done with that is I've embossed this piece of glitter paper with the Parisian Flourish embossing folder. And if you want to, you can take your piece of sandpaper and just brush over that as well to bring out some white. And in doing so, I lost the 2 corners from the embossing folder, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So this is 3 and probably 3/4 by about 1.5. And then this piece here is 1 3/4 by about 3.5. So just a little bit wider and shorter. And we'll just adhere those together. And then I'm going to just add some ribbon at this point before I add that to my card front. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of my Seal Plus there, and then just wrap some ribbon. And if you want, you can kind of twist your ribbon like this. Attach that to the Seal Plus and then turn it around, and you can twist that around a little bit more if you want. And then just do the same again. Like this, and then trim that off. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my card front. And I'm going to put that about right here. And I'm not too worried if it matches the edges. You can have it that little bit longer if you want to. And then I'm just going to grab another piece of this ribbon and loop that around here and tie a bow around my ribbon. Now you can leave the tails quite long, you can cut them shorter, whatever you think looks good. Next, I've stamped the bird and flower image on a piece of basic white, and I have stamped that in basic gray. I felt that black was just a little bit too harsh, and also those leaves are relatively solid, and so having the black leaves just wasn't quite the look I was looking for this project. So the basic gray is a nice option. And then I have cut the scallop circle that it will sit on top of out of smoky slate, and I have cut both of those using the layering circles dies, a die set that I recommend everyone have. It's just nice to have your circles in your stash. And then to color those, we will just add a little bit of color using the Stampin' blends. And I've got Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, Petal Pink, and Smoky Slate here. And you can color it in any way that you wish, if you want to color it in more solid, or if you want to do like me and just add a little bit of outline color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of light Pool Party there around the bird. So it's not solidly colored in, but just enough to give that little bit of a hint of color. And then I'm just going to add that little bit of gray in through the branch. And then a little bit of soft sea foam. I don't think I said that earlier. There's soft sea foam here too for the leaves. And then for the flowers, I'm just going to do the same. I'm just going to add a little bit of the petal pink around where the detail is of the flower, and then just outline it. Now, it's not going to matter for these ones because we are going to cover them up, but just to show you how I did it, I just added some dots of the Daffodil Delight in through the center of the flower to get that color. Okay, then we're going to put this onto our Smoky Slate mat, and then we'll add that to our card front using dimensionals. And I'm going to place that about here. Okay. Then for dimension, what you can do is stamp this image, or at least the flower part of it, onto another piece of basic white, and then just use your scissors to cut those out. And I'm going to put that second flower over these existing ones with dimensionals. And you can kind of offset it if you want. So that color underneath is just so because you'll see that little bit probably peeking through. And then you can, with the third flower, you can put that up on dimensionals too if you want. I'm just going to put that one down flat like this, so you've got some height difference there. Now then, to add our words, I have stamped the words out of the set, and I have cut them out with this die from the Potted Succulents stamp sets, or die set, sorry. So it's a completely different set, but I find this label quite useful. But I did want to show you a little tip. When you just cut it out as is, I thought it was just a little bit long. It's not too bad, kind of depends where you put your bird, how you position that. But if you want to make it shorter like this one, all you would do is cut it out, and then just cut it a second time like this. Line it, there you can see it better there. Line it up, so you're just cutting off the end, and in this case I would do it a third time and cut off this end as well. And then you've got that same shape, but just that little bit shorter. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on one end of this and go ahead and put that on my card front. You can have it hanging off the end a little bit. I think I'll have it within the card, but you can do it however you wish. And then if you want to, you can take your Stampin' blends, the brush tip, so the thicker tip, or you can do it with your Stampin' Write markers if you prefer not to use these, and just use the lid and just flick a little bit of ink in there if you want to. I just wanted just that little bit of something so it wasn't too white where the bird was. And then we're going to just add some embellishments. So I have the new iridescent rhinestones. They're beautiful. They don't really have a color to them, but when you lay them down on white, they do seem to have a little bit of a pink to them. So they're quite nice. And then you can just decide where you want those. I'm going to put, they've got large, small, and medium. So I'll put them maybe something like this. And then I'm going to mix in some pearls. I like my pearls. I'll put one about there. And maybe, yeah, I'll put a little one over here, maybe a bit closer. There we go. And then the last thing we want to do is just add an inside to our card. So I've just stamped those, the same flowers as on the front, but the larger version. These are the ones that coordinate with the Designer Series paper, and just colored those in exactly the same way. We'll mat those up onto Petal Pink, and then we'll go ahead and put that inside our card. And then you can use basic white, or you can use some of the designer series paper and just create a beautiful envelope to match that coordinates with the papers on your card. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave me a comment and subscribe while you're here, and enjoy the rest of the hop. I'll see you next time. This is Jackie. Bye-bye.